disgusting. It's disturbing. No one deserves to be treated this way in our community. And I'm so sorry to her.
An Indianapolis rideshare driver is arrested for murder after allegedly shooting and killing a female customer. Fox 59 Jesse Wells spoke to the woman's family and to IMPD's police chief about the case and has the very latest.
The victim's family tells me they tracked her phone down to these woods where they found her body and called police. Less than 24 hours later, IMPD had the suspect in custody and are now preaching a message of prevention. Just after 1 o'clock Monday afternoon, in these woods on Indy's near southeast side, a woman who had been reported missing hours earlier was found naked with a shirt pulled over her head. Police believe 30-year-old Chanti Dixon had been sexually assaulted and shot to death.
This is just disgusting all around, and it did not have to happen.
Police claim a 29-year-old Uber driver, Francisco Valadez, picked up the victim from work early Sunday morning and drove Dixon to her home at this apartment complex just a few feet from the woods where she was murdered. According to this affidavit, Valadez gave conflicting stories, but eventually admitted to shooting the victim while trying to have sex with her. After dumping Dixon's body, the suspect confessed he tried to have sex with her again.
This is a family's worst nightmare. We're disgusted by these allegations.
Finally, formal charges by the prosecutor's office in this case are still pending. In the meantime, IMPD asks anyone who may have had a suspicious encounter with the suspect using rideshare in recent weeks to contact their department. Jesse Wells, Fox 59 News.
All right, Jesse, thank you. Officials with Uber sent a statement saying their heart breaks for the victim's family, adding that the details of this case are atrocious and that they will assist police however they can. Meanwhile, there are steps that police recommend taking to protect yourself on a ride. They say making sure that the car that pulls up matches the description from your rideshare app, to share your trip with a trusted family member using the location app. You can also track the ride by watching your own Maps app so you know where you're going. All right.
Disgusting.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Well, I see you, Emmanuel. I knew you was gonna pop up. I said when he see this title, he's gonna have to come in. We got another creep. I see you, Mary. We have another creep. This creep is an Uber driver. Did you hear what he did? The question I asked, why was he born? Okay, now, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Donna Just Being Real. My channel is about dating, love, relationships, toxic relationship advice channel. So if you need to get a hold of me, feel free, look inside the description and you can find my email address and let's go from there. We're going to watch some news clips and then also I'm going to show the press conference. But the evil person, he's caught. He confessed. Lustful piece of crap. Seeing this woman, he got so lustful and just went crazy and do this to this woman. And she's a mother and she has kids. Now the kids don't even have her no more. Don't have their mother. Just moving to a new place, starting her new life. And then here come this creep. Look at him. Okay, give me just a second here so I can set up for the next video because I kind of messed up a little bit. Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's watch this. Let's listen to this clip here. All right. Let's get it.
Tonight, we're learning more about a woman allegedly murdered by her Uber driver. In the days since her body was found on Indy's northeast side, IMPD now says they've managed to track down the suspect. Our Chase Howell has been working on this story all day and learned the man accused of killing her told police two different stories.
That's right. According to court documents, the Uber driver tried to tell police originally that a man tried robbing Chanti Dixon before shooting her in the thigh. But later he would admit to shooting Dixon in the head in the backseat of his car after trying to have sex with her. It was just beyond these concrete barriers where police.
I see you, BG. Do you see we got this creep here? This is crazy. But good to see you, classy lady, my classy sister. Let's get back.
You see Venezuelan.
That I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll say we're gonna watch a couple of clips. They'll get into it.
Police say they found Dixon's body on Monday. IMPD says Francisco Valadez picked Dixon up around 3:30 Sunday morning to take her home when he allegedly shot and killed her. Neighbors say Dixon lived less than 100 yards away from where her body was found and that she just moved in about a week ago.
It affects us a lot because now it's like we don't know. You know what I'm saying? And most of the girls out here are single moms and stuff. There's not a man figure there. So, you know, and some of them come in late at night. You know, it's disturbing to know that it's not.
It's really disturbing. Too many single mothers. That's disturbing too. You see? I just wanted to throw that in. All right, resume.
Not even safe to even come home anymore. It's kind of disturbing.
IMPD says while rideshare services are generally safe to use, they recommend sharing your ride with people you know, verifying the driver and make of the car, and to trust your gut. At this hour, IMPD believes this was an isolated incident, but asks anyone who may have encountered Valadez to please come forward. Report.
Okay, give me just a second. Give me click over to the next clip. I want to get into the press conference. Give me just a second. And yes, isn't she a doll? You're right, BG. Gorgeous. His little lustful ass, excuse my language, I shouldn't be cursed, excuse me. His little lustful self couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle it. Creep. Why were you born? I'm glad they got you, and I hope they give you some special treatment in prison. Special treatment.
Yeah, the question is if he's a Venezuelan or a
I don't know.
legal alien.
I don't know all of that. We'll listen to the press conference, whatever. But we know one thing: he's a creep. That's definitely guaranteed. He's a creep. That's all I know. He's a creep. All right, let's resume. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into the press conference. Let's hear what the press conference have to say. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it.
Friends and loved ones impacted by the horrific murder we are going to briefly discuss today. And just also, I think it's important to acknowledge the family, friends, and the victims of all of the murder victims in our city. They all deserve justice, and they all deserve, their particular issue to be highlighted. So I want to recognize them today. The information we are about to share reflects what we believe to be an isolated incident. However, we have more work to do. We felt we needed to share with all of you, our community, and do all we can to spread a message of prevention, to never let something like this happen again here in our community. And as I mentioned at the beginning, talking about murders and violence, I want to just quickly say to our community that remember, you have an obligation to help us in our fighting and crime. When you know and prevent violence, and we all have to learn to better deal with our emotions in a way that doesn't lead to picking up a weapon and taking a life. So specific to this incident, what I'm going to share with you now is preliminary. It's disturbing. It's not all the facts, but here's what we know so far. Yesterday, September 9th, a missing person report was filed with IMPD. Officers were told that a Chanti Dixon was missing since early Sunday morning. Detectives were told that she was picked up around 3:30 a.m. By a rideshare driver to be taken home. No one had talked to her since that time. Yesterday afternoon at just before 1 p.m., IMPD Southeast District officers were dispatched to the 1800 block of Wagner Lane on the report of a deceased person found near a wooded area. Officers located an adult female there, later identified by the Marion County Coroner's Office as the missing woman, 30-year-old Chanti Dixon. Due to the unusual circumstances, homicide was notified and began their investigation. Along with the homicide investigators, the Marion County Forensic Services Agency and the Coroner's Office conducted their evidence, and detectives canvassed the area for witnesses and surveillance cameras. Quickly, a suspect or person of interest was identified. Detectives were able to place that person into custody, and after an interview, they arrested 29-year-old Francisco Valadez, who was preliminarily charged with murder. One part I failed to mention, it was Ms. Dixon was found to have injury consistent with a gunshot wound. Preliminary information suggests that the suspect was a rideshare driver, and he had picked up Dixon just prior to her murder. One thing I want to ask the community now is that anyone in our community who may have had an encounter with this man, hopefully the media will share this picture, his booking photo with all of you who may have had an encounter with this individual over the last several months as a rideshare driver or otherwise, or have information on this particular incident to come forward. You can call our homicide office at 317-327-3475 or Crime Stoppers at 262-TIPS. Obviously, this is a preliminary charge of murder. I anticipate additional facts being discovered and additional charges on this individual as we move forward. Those decisions will be made by the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. Like I said at the beginning, although I'm not getting into the individual facts, those facts will be known to everyone once the probable cause is available. This is disgusting. It's disturbing, and we, Ms. Dixon especially, her family, no one deserves to be treated this way in our community, and I am so sorry to her family that we're here today. And with that, I'll turn it over to Assistant Chief Cummings, who has some additional things to say today. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. So good afternoon. As a woman, this hits differently for me. Women, girls, mothers, they have a right to exist freely in our community without fear of something heinous happening to them. They have a right to walk, bike, order a ride share without fearing something bad will happen to them.
You know what, BG? Maybe I should have called him Pigface. I should have called him Pigface. Yeah, I like that one. I think he's more of a pig face. He does got more of a pig face, don't he, BG? Yeah. Thank you, BG.
What's the suspect name?
Looking at what's in the description. What is it? Oh boy, where's his name here? Francisco Valadez, something like that.
Okay, I'm gonna run a background on him.
Yeah, he do got that pig look, pig face. All right, everybody, welcome to Donna Just Being Real. Right now, we are watching the press conference. Let me resume back to the press conference. If you have any questions, put in the chat, and also if you want to know what's happening, read the description, get understanding. Resume.
This is a family's worst nightmare, and we extend our heartfelt condolences to her family during this trying time. We're disgusted by these allegations. This occurred in a residential neighborhood with children getting off the bus nearby. We commend the hard work of our detectives in this case, in which an arrest was made in just a very short time, a matter of hours. Excellent work by our police department. I also want the community to know that at this time, we believe this to be an isolated incident. Ride shares continue to be an excellent and a safe option to use when you're out in our community. Socializing, touring, they continue to be a safe and excellent option to use. We encourage anyone who's using a ride share to always check the make, the model, the name of the driver. Check those with your app. Make sure that it is the person that your app is indicating should be the person who is picking you up. There's an option in your app for you to share your ride with people who you know. They can track your ride as you go along. They can monitor the progress of your ride and see where you are within your ride. If something doesn't feel right to you during your ride, you can ask the person to pull over and you can get out. You can call 911. And last but not least, trust your instincts. If the driver pulls up and it doesn't feel right to you, don't get in. Trust yourself. I myself use ride shares and I follow these tips. Women, you have a right to exist in this community safely, and you have a right to use these ride shares safely. Trust yourself. Chief.
We'll take some questions. Just know that this is still an ongoing investigation, and I assume over the next 72 hours there'll be a full published probable cause affidavit that will give you more facts. We also want to be sensitive to the family here that the details that we share are appropriate given the grief that they're feeling at this point in time.
Chief, how were you able to locate the suspect so quickly?
Well, I mean, obviously technology, when you use rideshare apps, there's certain information that's available on those particular apps that helped us lead us to an individual who we were able to interview fairly quickly. And based on those interviews, the detectives felt like they had enough information to make an arrest. So utilizing the technology that exists on your own phone and through these rideshare apps, as the assistant chief mentioned, that these apps have done a lot of work to try to make sure people are safe. And so adding on to what she said about using the apps there is also tell people where you're going, that you're in an app, when you're expected home. Those things are important too as you utilize these services.
Can you just talk a little bit more about just being able to feel safe in one of these rideshare apps here? How to get in, go to your destination safely, how something like this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming, I know I use them. I use them all the time when I'm out of town. I've used them in our own city. I have never had an opportunity to feel unsafe in any of those opportunities. However, I know that's not everyone's experience. And so using those tips that you heard from the assistant chief are important. Some other ones that to think about is don't talk about your personal information on there. You're not required to have a conversation with the individual driver in there. So you can be polite and say, this is not information I want to share with you. I just want to get from A to B without having a conversation. We talked about sharing your location. Make sure you sit in the back seat. Make sure you wear your seatbelt. Track your route. Have your phone available, that if it's necessary to call for help immediately, you can have that at your fingertips, on and ready to go if you feel like you need to do that. And like the chief said, is in the trip if you need to get it. If you don't feel comfortable, you don't like where this is headed, you don't like the conversation that's being had, tell them to pull over and then get out and call 911 if you're not safe in that area, and we'll come out and assist you.
Two quick questions. How was the victim found, and do we know what motivated this?
So I'm not exactly sure how the victim was found, but someone in the community found the body and called 911, and that's how we found her there. The motive, I don't want to speak outside the probable cause affidavit. I want to make sure that the information that the detectives submit to the prosecutor's office are the facts, true and accurate. I know that I've been given a briefing on it, and I can't really tell you what the motive is, but what I will say is it's unnecessary. I mean, there's very few times in the world where taking someone's life is necessary, but this is just disgusting all around. and it did not have to happen. This is a family that's been ripped apart. This woman is gone from the world unnecessarily by an evil act, and I'm glad that we were able to find this individual as quickly as we did, so that he didn't have an opportunity to perpetuate violence further in our community.
Can you talk about last question, guys? Can you talk about how frustrating this is to see members in our community do this to someone else?
Yeah, I think I've said it, mentioned at the beginning. I've said it many times before. We have to be better to each other. Murder is one of the hardest things for a police department to prevent. The time that happens in the heat of the moment, and situations that are occurring at that time. A lot of emotions related to it, a lot of conflictual issues to it, and it's frustrating for us. It's frustrating for the community. But our officers and detectives are going to keep working out, going out every day and working and doing our best and doing our part. That's why I mentioned at the beginning, we need the community to come alongside of us and do their part. I know, yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is there any way you can identify for us which rideshare program it was and how long this man has been working there?
I don't know how long he's been working there. I think when the probable cause affidavit comes out, that information will be spelled out within that affidavit. All right, thank you.
Mothers, they have a right to exist freely in our community without fear of something heinous happening to them.
Police say an Indianapolis Uber driver shot and killed a woman who was riding with him and then dumped her body on the southeast side of the city. This is an update to a story we first brought you on Monday.
Now, investigators say the crime happened over the weekend, but the woman's body wasn't found until Monday afternoon. Tonight, WRTV's Adam Shooms is learning more from police about what they say happened.
This is 30-year-old Chanti Dixon.
She's a hustler. She's going to do whatever she got to do to take care of her family.
Her best friend, Pino William, told us about the woman she was.
If I was there, it wouldn't happen. We always made sure we got home safe.
Police say Dixon's body was found Monday afternoon near East Raymond Street and South Sherman Drive on Indy's southeast side. Court documents say the family became suspicious after they didn't hear from her after she got off work Sunday morning. The family filed a missing persons report on Monday morning. Court documents say 29-year-old Uber driver Francisco Valadez told police he picked Dixon up from her work around 3:30 Sunday morning. He attempted to have sex with her in his car, but got angry after a fight with Dixon, and he shot her. Court records allege Valadez dragged her body from the car, sexually assaulted her, and left her body in a wooded area. Police arrested him for Dixon's murder.
This is disgusting. It's disturbing.
IMPD said using rideshare apps are generally safe. Police are urging people to share their location with friends and family members and say you can always ask a driver to pull over if you don't feel safe.
As a woman, for me, women, girls, mothers, they have a right to exist freely in our community without fear of something heinous happening to them. They have a right to walk, bike.
Exactly. Women have the right to walk, bike, and do whatever. And they should not have to deal with some lustful creep, obsessing over you or whatever it is, and he has to have you and do something so crazy like this. I wonder if he's married. Kids, I'm going to kind of read this article, see if I can get a little bit more information after this clip is over, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you hit the like and make sure you vote too.
Order a ride share without fearing something bad will happen to them.
In Indianapolis, Adam Shooms, WRTV.
IMPD says if you know anything about Francisco Valadez, investigators would like you to speak up. You can call IMPD at the number you see right there on your.
Okay, let me read a little bit of this article, ladies and gentlemen, before I let y'all go here. All right, what article I have here? Okay, let's see if we get any more here. I don't think they say anything about his nationality, Jack, but we will see. I don't know. Okay. This came out September 11, 2024, time at 3:43 p.m. Eastern Time. Indianapolis. Police says an Uber driver recently arrested in the death of Chanti Dixon, admitted her R shot and killed her after picking her up from work Sunday evening. Francisco Valadez, whatever this creep name is, Pigface 29 was arrested Tuesday morning by IMPD homicide detectives and preliminary charges with murder. Pigface reportedly admitted to the police that he shot and killed the 30-year-old in a fit of rage. Do you hear this? A fit of rage? Because she didn't want to give you no cookies. She wasn't attracted to you. She wasn't interested in you. She didn't want to be bothered with you. Resume reading. Pigface reportedly admitted to the police and shot and killed the 30-year-old Dixon in a fit of rage after picking her up as an Uber driver and attempting to R her in the back of the car. He then said that he dumped her body in an alleyway in a wooded area near the victim's home, like she was just a piece of trash, right? Right? Pigface, just a piece of trash, right? Hope they dump you all over. I hope they just pass your little butthole all over the darn cell. Yep, I said it. I'm not taking it back. This is just disgusting all around, and it did not have to happen, said the chief Chris Bailey. Okay. All right, this beautiful lady's death. Court documents filed Tuesday in Marion County Court details how the officers were called around 1 p.m. Monday to the 1800 block of Wagner Lane after a woman's body was found in a nearby wooded area. The police arrived to find that the woman was naked, unresponsive, and lying on her stomach. The victim's family said that they tracked her phone to the woods behind her home where they found her body and called the police. Okay. The woman, later identified by the Marion County Coroner Office as Dixon, was pronounced dead on scene. After the crime scene was processed for evidence, it was discovered that Dixon had suffered a gunshot wound to the left side of her head. Wow. A woman near the scene told the police that the dead woman was her daughter, who had been missing since early Sunday morning. I'm so glad that they got her early. Now her body decomposing out there like that. Beautiful lady. And your poor children. All right, resume reading. The woman told the officers her daughter had gotten off around 3:30 a.m. and ordered an Uber to get home. No one had talked to her since. The police crew reportedly found 2 cell phones in the wooded area near Dixon's body. Both phones were identified as belonging to Dixon. The victim's mother gave police the passcodes for both phones, which would eventually lead them to Pigface. All right, investigation into Pigface. Once back on the homicide office, detective found that found that Dixon had ordered an Uber at 3:34 a.m. from 23,000 block of West 16th Street. She reportedly made one stop along Washington Street in the Uber before taking in the same car to her home address to Earhart Street. Okay. According to the data stored in the Uber app, Dixon's driver drove the BMW with Indiana license plates. Detectives searched further into the driver and identified him as Vasquez. Coming up with an address in Astro Court Circle, whatever. Okay. Detectives then went to Vasquez's home and began questioning him about Dixon. Okay, where am I at? He told the police that he did pick up Dixon on Sunday, but then began to tell a story of how an armed black man came up to his car and tried to rob Dixon. Oh, why was he born? Whew, Lord have mercy. Pigface added that the suspect shot Dixon in the thigh and that that she kicked herself out of his car and he fled the scene. Do you hear this bogus crap? Do you hear this? This clown? Is he serious? Oh my gosh. Who you live with? Do you have wife, girlfriend? What's going on? What is your personal life? Oh, it's all gonna come out in court. Okay. What was that at? He also said that he had cleaned the blood out of his car. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, okay. You thought these police was gonna believe this bogus. You think they was gonna really believe this? Yeah, okay. Pigface added that the suspect shot in the thigh and then I read that part, sorry. Police also reportedly spoke to Pigface's mother. Oh, okay. Who told them that her son owned a gun that he regularly carries. All right, go ahead, Mom. Shout out to moms. That's right. That's right. No enabler over here. She added that he had recently cleaned out his car and that the items were still inside. After seizing the items of evidence, police took Pigface into interrogation. Ooh, I want to see that interrogation. All right, I'm going to read this last part here. Admission and arrest. Detectives took Pigface to the police homicide office where he was reportedly read his Miranda rights and signed a waiver agreeing to speak with the police. After telling several stories about what happened to Dixon, Pigface reportedly admitted that actually happened. Mr. Pigface told two different stories as to what happened with Miss Dixon, police wrote. Detectives said that the Pigface admitted to R-ing the woman in the back of his car. While R-ing the woman, Pigface said that she insulted his body. Oh, really? I can't believe what I'm reading. This reportedly caused him to become enraged and shot Dixon in the head. Wow. Wow. This is so sad. She talked about your body and you went in a rage, huh? First of all, she didn't even want you. She just called for an Uber ride. She didn't call to be, picked up. This is not prostitution or whatever. I don't know what was going through your mind. Okay. All right. I'm going to see if we have one more clip here, ladies and gentlemen. We got time. Hold a second.
This is the vampire Louis Dulac.
Well, we're learning more this morning about.
Okay, let's watch this clip here. All right. And this will be the last clip, and I'll let y'all go.
More this morning about a woman allegedly murdered by her Uber driver just yards from her home.
Metro Police now tell us that Uber driver allegedly confessed to that murder. Matthew Fultz is following this story this morning with more on a crime that police are calling not only disturbing but disgusting. Good morning, Matthew.
Hey, good morning to you both. This is just a heartbreaking story all the way around. Metro Police telling us that they have arrested 29-year-old Francisco Valadez in connection to Chanti Dixon's murder. Now, officers say that they found Dixon on Sunday naked in a wooded area along Wagner Lane near East Raymond and Sherman Drive. She was found with gunshot wounds and pronounced dead at the scene. According to court documents, Dixon had ordered an Uber after she got off work around 3:30 Sunday morning. Police say Valadez gave investigators conflicting statements before admitting to shooting Dixon in the head while he was trying to have sex with her in the back of his car. Police also claims Dixon made him mad with something she said before shooting her.
This is disgusting. It's disturbing. And we, Ms. Dixon, especially her family, no one deserves to be treated this way in our community. And I am so sorry to her family that we're here today.
Now, Valadez is under arrest right now on a preliminary murder charge. Investigators are also asking anyone that may have encountered him on a rideshare to come forward. We also reached out to Uber, and they tell us that Valadez has been banned from their rideshare service. Meanwhile, Julia and Jalea coming up at 5:30. You'll hear more from neighbors living in that community.
Okay, that's just the end. I want to show the clips. This piece of crap. Piece of crap. Why was he born? Okay, let me go back to the comments. And I see you. Okay, Celine, you emailed me. All right, I'm gonna look at it later. And I see Strange. And what did Strange say? I'm sure this was not the first woman he assaulted. And I agree. This creep been creeping. And pig face. This pig face been creeping. And as a little bit I read about with the mother, she's probably happy to get rid of you. She didn't want to get rid of you like this, but she probably's happy. You was probably a problem. All your life, just a problem. Annoying piece of crap. All right, what did Manuel say? Well, his DNA hits the system. I won't doubt that there are more victims. Ooh, yeah, once it hits it, right? And Jack, are you still there? Do you have anything you
Yeah,
haven't closed?
I'm trying to find out if he's a Venezuelan or illegal alien. Because we
I
have
read the article. They
upticking
didn't bring it
crime
up.
with illegal aliens and Venezuelans.
And when I looked on this article, it didn't say anything like that. But everything's gonna come out in court. But we definitely got one thing though. He's a creep. Why was he born? And prayers to your children. They lost their mother. Beautiful new apartment, moved to a new place, starting a new life, and then here you go, calling up an Uber, and then realize you have this lustful creep. I don't want to look at your face anymore. All right, ladies and gentlemen, anything else, Jack? I'm going to close off here. We're going to close off with a moment of silence. I guess that's it. Okay, so Jack, anything else to say? But everybody, thank you for being here. Make sure you hit the like button. Share me out if you like. Share your thoughts and opinions. This is so sad. So sad. We're going to have a moment of silence for this beautiful young lady doing her thing. Doing her thing. And unfortunately, some lustful creep. All right, moment of silence, everyone. Stay tuned for some more of Donna Just Being Real.